What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 squad? Welcome back into another video. Today we are doing our film review of the New York Giants at the Tennessee Titans, getting the win 21-20. So before we start, guys, obviously if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. But without further ado, we are going to do this in chronological order. Not really going to pick my favorites and then, go do that. We're going to go in chronological order. I think it will be the best way to do it. So I got a bunch of plays I want to go over here. This is the touchdown play to Hilliard by Ryan Tannehill. Now, I got the play art here. I'll show you in a second. So here's the play art for this play. It's a really, really nice design play. Now, the Giants are going to be playing man coverage here, and I think this is probably the best possible area. We're going to talk a little bit about these stack receiver sets that the Giants really struggled at in this game. They played man defense against it. I just don't like playing man defense against stacked receivers because of this problem here. So you're going to have the running back on the wheel route. You're going to have on the left side, you're going to have 15 run that drag, and then you're going to have the other receiver behind him. I don't know if that's a tight end or a receiver. I can't really see, but he's gonna run a fade. So he's gonna basically clear out that whole slot for the halfback wheel, and then on the other side you're gonna have another two stacked receiver set. The front receiver is going to run a corner route or an out, and then I think that's a tight end, and then I think the other is a tight end as well. Is going to run a kind of a dig inside, okay? So this obviously is designed to beat man coverage, and the Giants made a big mistake in playing man coverage. So like I said, this was just a perfect play design here. You got Robinson covering the receiver here. He's probably going to be going inside. This guy's going to be probably going outside. Now, the reason why I don't like man coverage in these situations, and you'll see it here, the outside defender here is pretty much supposed to be getting this guy, but in this situation, he goes inside, he goes outside, and they don't switch, and you can see the discrepancy there. So before we talk about this touchdown, let's look at this. Okay, this is why you don't run man coverage with stacked receiver sets. Look, this is wide open. I mean, if Tannehill was looking his way, Tannehill saw the potential of this play with Hilliard immediately, but this could have easily been, if not a touchdown, a big play here. So I guess Tannehill made the right read, made a great throw, but this is wide open. And this is O'Shane Ximenez in coverage and Julian Love, so that's who was in coverage, and that could have been an easy play there. This is why you don't play man coverage on stacked receiver sets. And then let's talk about the actual touchdown here, okay? So we talk about this fade, and then we're going to talk about this this drag, sort of to clear out this seam here for the running back, and they do a great job at that. You see Calitro run into a guy here. The receiver gets a good job jamming up both of these defenders so he can, create some space for the running back, and he does just that, and Tannehill fits it into a tight window here. Beautiful play here by Tannehill and Dontrell Hilliard. I mean, you got to give them credit here. You got to give them credit. So you can see the play happen here. Easy money for Tennessee. That was just a really good play on their part. Now, I felt like this was a potential for a big play for Sterling Shepard. You guys know Sterling Shepard was pretty much not utilized in the game until that 66-yard touchdown. But this was in the first drive for the Giants. This is a play action rollout to the right. You got the receiver here. In this case, is David Sills clearing out. You're going to have Kadarius as a dump off. And then you're going to have Sterling Shepard going over, following the quarterback on the over or crossing route. And this had a potential for a big play, but you're going to see how the middle linebacker, David Long, just completely blows this up and does a fantastic job here. We're going to look at the box view because that's probably the best view you can get of this play. So you can see here you got some pre-snap motion. The Titans showing zone because they're switching off here. So Kadarius is under. They're going to go kind of run a zone blocking to the left, kind of do a little misdirection here, play action, roll out to the right. Look how fast David Long diagnoses this play. I don't know if this was a design blitz or David Long just took it upon himself to just see the open lane and rush the quarterback just in case this was a play action. Look how fast he doesn't run to the quarterback. I mean, he doesn't run to the running back. He doesn't follow in the gaps, right? He doesn't try to make an angle. He goes straight for the quarterback. He knows that this is a play action. And this could have been a huge play. If David Long was not here, look at this open space that Sterling Shepard has. This could have been, this receiver out here is focused on David Sills, who's clearing out, and this is why it's a great design play. And then Kadarius Toney is that dump off option. Now, as soon as Daniel Jones goes play action, he looks Kadarius Toney's way, but by the time he makes that read that Kadarius is not going to be open, David Long is already in his face, forcing him to make his next read, which is Sterling, and just had to get the playoff, had to throw the ball away because he had absolutely no time to get to Sterling. But this was a good design of a play. The Giants are utilizing a lot of play action rollouts, a lot of pre-snap motion to identify man and zone. And I think it's a totally different offense from what we're used to with Jason Garrett. And just a good play by the Titans. I know I'm like championing the Titans early because they actually played some really good football early in this game. And like I said, we're going chronological here. So you see Sterling Shepard on the crosser. He was completely wide, butt naked, open. This is zone coverage, and these guys are sticking out to the receivers. And Sterling Shepard would have been wide open. This was a middle linebacker blitz. I want to assume it's a middle linebacker blitz. He went straight for Daniel Jones, though. I can't get over this play. Look how fast David Long gets there, man. I mean, right off rip, he doesn't pay attention to Saquon at all. Goes straight for Daniel, and this could have been a big play that David Long stopped. So, I mean, good job by the Titans defense. Good job by David Long. And if it wasn't for him, this would have been a huge play for Sterling. So if you guys didn't know, this video is sponsored by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. If you guys are interested in picking up some grooming products for your family jewels, make sure you guys use the promo code KB27 for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. It's a great company, great for men's grooming. You don't see a lot of that. So they have great products as well. So make sure you guys use the promo code KB27 for 20% off plus free shipping. Next, we're going to give some love to Daniel Jones. Now, this is going to be the first down play to Wan'Dale Robinson, where Daniel Jones just evades the sack from Jeffrey Simmons, just completely, bobs and weaves and gets the ball off to Wan'Dale Robinson out the pocket. I really like this play design as well. And so we're going to have Wan'Dale Robinson running that whip route on the outside, getting back inside. He's going to be finding the soft spot in the zone, which he is fairly good at. You're going to have Sterling Shepard kind of clearing out slightly on the corner route. And then you're going to have the inside receiver, David Sills, running a dig at the sticks. In theory, this is David Sills is supposed to, drag a linebacker away from the intended area where the whip route is going to be, because that's pretty much the main target here. And then you're going to have the tight end on the other side running a little bit of an over dig route, and then on a check and release, and also Saquon Barkley on a check and release as well on the slight little bubble there. So let's get into it. All right, so let's get into it. Daniel Jones does a good job here. He moves in the pocket and moves slightly to the right, sees the pressure. This is actually a pretty good pocket for right now. He's fairly behind all the pressure, but he gets out the pocket collapses, gets out of it. Jeffrey Simmons is the first one to disengage. What do you know? He's able to weave him and get this ball out quickly to Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, you can see from the box view, it's a lot better. I know the quality of these All-22s aren't very good, just because I don't know why the NFL does not upgrade their camera game with the All-22s. I don't understand it, but that's neither here nor there. So this is a better view here. Decent protection. Evan Neal kind of gets beat over here, but he's able to push him inside. Daniel Jones gets outside, and then you see Jeffrey Simmons here. He's looking. He stops. He's going to pump a little bit. He's going to force Jeffrey Simmons to jump up and try to get to the ball. Completely puts his foot in the ground. Sees Wan'Dale in the soft spot of the zone. This is exactly what this play was designed for. And first down. So good job by Daniel Jones, and absolutely fires a dart in there for Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, does a great job. Wan'Dale's smaller, man. Wan'Dale is smaller. And check out, by the way, check out our man David Sills here, being the technician of a route runner he is. He's going to run this dig route and hit a spin move, man. Look at this man. This man's hitting spin moves in his route. That's a technician type play there from a technician of route running right there, David Sills. But yeah, good job by Wan'Dale Robinson running that whip route. He stopped and then found that soft spot in the zone. Look at this soft spot here. Boom. And look how fast this gap. Everybody, like, you know, runs this. Everybody always freeze frames when they watch film. They always freeze frame and be like, look, he's wide open. He could have ran for a touchdown here. Look how fast this gap closes up, okay? This is Wan'Dale Robinson, like I said, finding the soft spot in the zone. Look how fast this gap closes up. The defender's right here. Look at these defenders right here. Look at this defender. You would think that Wan'Dale Robinson's going to catch this and get to the end zone, right? When you freeze frame it, right? Look how fast this gap closes up. He's got nowhere to go. This is why you don't film review screenshots, all right? That's why you don't do it. But yeah, great job by Daniel Jones fitting it into a tight space there for Wan'Dale. First down. So the next one is very controversial. A lot of people are talking about this. This is probably the most basic, one of the basic concepts out there. They didn't manipulate this at all. This is just straight up dagger concept. All right, they didn't make this like a hybrid or anything or mix anything else in it. This is straight up dagger concept. It's straight up the stuff you see in Madden, right? You're gonna have the drag, the tight end on a drag. And he's supposed to take one of those linebackers away and make him go shallow. You're gonna have Kenny Golladay, who's in the slot, and we'll talk about this in a second, but Kenny Golladay in the slot running the clear out, and then this play is designed for this deep dig to get open, and so Kenny Golladay is supposed to drag that safety and clear him out, and then Sterling Shepard is supposed to get one-on-one with whoever is there, whether it be man coverage or if it, best case scenario, zone, because he should be open behind the linebackers. So this is a good play design. We're in the strong right eye formation. And we're going to hit play action and then try to set this thing up. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you're going to notice is Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay is in the slot. Now I can see what the Giants wanted to do here. You want to get the ball into your playmakers. Obviously, I feel like the Giants trust Sterling Shepard than they do. They trust Sterling Shepard more than they do Kenny Golladay. So they had Kenny Golladay running the clear out. Now, in dagger concepts, the clear out is just never going to get the ball, okay? You're not going to get the ball. You're there to do a job. You're there to clear out. You really don't target the guy on the clear out, okay? You're only designed to take the safety away. And so the Sterling Shepard's supposed to, get this ball and hopefully have nobody there. If this is zone, this corner is going to remain here, or if he has good instincts, he's going to follow him anyway because these linebackers are probably going to stay pretty shallow. And that's what it's there for, right? And this tight end is supposed to drag one of these tight ends, this flat and keep him there. So that's what it's supposed to do. So Daniel Jones play action right off the rip. I mean, Glowinski is just pushed back. I mean, look how easy Glowinski is just pushed back. All right. Push back. Daniel Jones trying to make a read. Nobody is open. At this point, there's not much you can do. I mean, where do you run from here? You know, you got a nickel blitz on this side. The nickel's blitzing, so we could rewind this real quick, and we'll go to the box view as well. You got a nickel blitz here. All right. You got Myrick doing the best he can. He gets away with a hold there, honestly. Slightly. Any longer he held him there, he would have been flagged for a holding call. Jeffrey Simmons just absolutely, if this is Jeffrey Simmons, but the defender here pushes his pocket insanely on Mark Lewinsky, and there's an edge defender right here. There's nowhere for Daniel to go at this point. I mean, you could argue he took a little long making that read, but the whole play is designed on this left side of the field. Nobody's on this right side, so there's no, he's just trying to see who's going to get open. Nobody's getting open. He tries to step up in the pocket, but there's Bud Dupree to make the tackle. And I think that was Myrick with the holding call. There's a flag on the field, but yeah. And so let's go back to the personnel here, right? Sterling Shepard and Kenny Golladay, you would think, like, what the hell is going on here? Why is this happening? And I'm asking the same question. I talked about how I understand why they did it, but I don't like that they did it, because Kenny Golladay is probably the worst guy to put on a clear out you could ever, like, if you're going to clear out, get Richie James in here or something. I don't know, Wan'Dale came out, so get Richie James in here. Put Kadarius Toney in, for crying out loud. Why do you have Kenny Golladay running a clear out? He ran this way too slow, and this is why it did not get open. Kenny Golladay is supposed to zoom, right? So what happens is on this dagger concept is Sterling Shepard is supposed to go under Kenny Golladay, and you can see how slow Kenny Golladay is. First of all, he tries to do an outside release for what? You're not getting the ball. See, look at that. Well, what are you doing? Just run right into it. Go. Just go. And look at this. Sterling Shepard is almost 4 yards ahead of Kenny Golladay after he makes his cut. He's making his cut right now. Kenny Galladay's supposed to be gone already. All right? And they run into each other. That's why this did not get open. All right? You're supposed to clear this out. And, you know, look, the linebacker stood shallow. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't look like it was like a cover 2. So this is cover 3. So this corner stood with Sterling Shepard up until the point that he broke, and he stood with him for the most part. And you might be asking, I've seen this on Twitter, Daniel Jones should have ran, you know, this way. There's no one over here. This is backside. This is play side over here. There's literally no receivers over there to try to do something, okay? He has to make his reads. He's got to go through his progressions. By the time he goes through his progressions, it's already too late, all right? It's already too late. So you could argue he could have ran to his left and just threw the ball away, I guess, but there's no sense of picking this play apart. Now, this is a great play by Micah Mcfadden, who stole Darian Beaver's number, which I think is funny and hilarious just because of the whole propaganda I put on with Micah Mcfadden. But so Derrick Henry is going to run. It's supposed to be sort of like a trap play almost for Derrick Henry to get inside here, or just a pulling guard, really what it is. And Derrick Henry's supposed to get in between here and run inside here. But Micah Mcfadden did a fantastic job reading this out, sniffing it out, hitting that B gap or C gap, and just blowing this gap up and causing Derrick Henry to bounce outside. And Jahad Ward did a good job setting the edge, and that's a tight end guarding him, and tackle for minimal gain. Good job by Micah Mcfadden blowing that gap up. So that's where the play is designed to go. So this guard's pulling. He's supposed to hit this gap here, but forces Henry to bounce outside. Blows it up. And Henry tackle for minimal gain. I think he gained a couple of yards there, but it was like way less than what it could have been. So good job by rookie linebacker Micah Mcfadden. So this is the next play. This is, again, we talked about this with... all right, so now the Titans are in the same exact formation that they had their touchdown play on, where Dontrell Hilliard, caught that touchdown on Calitro. So you're going to have 2 receivers stacked on each side, and the Giants elect to play man defense again because they don't learn their lesson the first time. So you're going to have the outside receiver on the bottom of your screen running inside, and this is what I talked about. So how they're not going to switch up. They're going to stay manned up on their guy. So he's going to be going inside on the under drag. And you're going to have Dontrell Hilliard, who is the back receiver in that stack, running the over drag. And then you're going to have the 2 top receivers kind of clearing out. One's running a corner on the top of your screen. The other's running like either like a really sloppy post or a crossing route. I'm sorry. Losing my train of thought. And then you're going to have the running back going out in the flat. So this is the same formation in the touchdown play. And the Giants run the same freaking defense, basically. They run man defense. So let's talk about it. All right, guys. So this is why you don't run man defense on stacked receiver sets, okay? So the Titans do a really good job in... And we already went over the play art, but the Titans did a really good job in personnel, all right? Because they put the running back, they switched the running back and the wide receiver. Robert Woods is in the backfield. Dontrell Hilliard is playing receiver, and that's going to cause a mismatch because Tay Crowder is technically responsible for the running back. So he's got the running back, and Adoree Jackson is actually playing Robert Woods. So it's going to take Adoree out of this play. And so it's going to force Tay Crowder to be the main target. Now, pay attention to this side of the field, right? I talked about before, the outside receiver is supposed to get the outside manned up guy, right? And then, or the guy going over. This guy in here is supposed to be getting the receiver going inside, but they don't switch up. That's not how I guess Wink Martindale runs his system. They have manned up and manned up no matter what. They're supposed to switch up, have that communication, but that's neither here nor there. Let's not talk about that. So, and then you got Julian Love here, manned up on the other receiver. Tate Crowder manned up on Dontre Hilliard. Let's see how this plays out. All right. And by the way, you got these two edge defenders dropping back in like hook zones. So they're only rushing 3. Look at this play. Look at this breakdown of a play. All right. Everyone's confused. Pause. All right. Everyone's confused. Tate Crowder got completely abused here, okay? Darnay Holmes, this is his man. Look where Darnay Holmes went. This is why you switch up. This is why you switch up. And I hate running man defense on stacked receiver sets. And you guys get even in Madden, don't even do this in Madden. You're gonna get dotted up in Madden if you do this. This is how basic of a fundamental problem this is. Okay, Darnay Holmes is supposed to be getting this inside receiver, I guess, because that's how they're playing man defense. I would switch up. Me personally, I would switch up. But that's not how Wink Martindale has his guys playing. So once you're manned up on a guy, you're manned up. Darnay Holmes is supposed to be going here. And then Jahad Ward has to do his best with this inside receiver. Darnay Holmes get caught up here. He's still playing defense here. And then look at Dontre Hilliard getting by himself here. Let's rewind that. Check out Tate Crowder. Supposed to be on Dontre Hilliard. Completely, and look what they did. Look what they did. First of all, it's a mismatch, right? Tate Crowder ain't going to keep up with Dontre Hilliard because he's like basically a receiver. Tate Crowder is all the way out here, about 10 yards away from Hilliard. He's playing outside shade. He even released outside. He even released outside. Look at Dontre Hilliard is not even close. All right, O'Shane isn't going to cover him. All right. Just a breakdown in coverage. And then Darnay Holmes, after getting caught up, I'm sorry if I'm just jumping up everywhere, guys, but Darnay Holmes, after getting caught up, goes back to the original receiver he was supposed to be on, 15 yards away. This is terrible. This is terrible. That's bad. That's bad defense. That's bad play calling. They should be coached up to, I'm not a coach, so I'm not going to act like I know more than Wink Martindale, but you should be switching up. If you want to run man defense, I don't advise it. If you want to run man defense against stacked receiver sets on both sides, that's up to you. But you should have these guys in communication switching up. So if this outside guy goes inside, that should be Robinson's assignment. And if this guy goes up, clears out, or even goes outside, it's this guy's assignment. Now if they both go inside, he gets the guy going over, he gets the guy going under. That's just how you should do it. They don't run it that way. And this is the big mistake. That's the big mistake. Boom. So, there's that. I'm sorry if I spent a lot of time on that. Josh Ezeudu, who's going to be pulling for Saquon Barkley to get to this gap right here. And going to block Zach Cunningham. But if this was a cleaner block, if he would have blocked them head on and pushed them this way, Saquon Barkley would have ran inside, had a big gain. He already had a big gain because he's Saquon Barkley. But he kind of like, I don't know what the hell this is. Josh Ezeudu just didn't want to play fierce. But Saquon Barkley did what he can. Bounced to the outside. We seen a play like this from Henry. We talked about the play like this from Derrick Henry where Micah Mcfadden blew up this gap right here, right? On the pulling guard, and it forced Henry to go outside, but Henry was caught up by the edge defender. But you look at Saquon Barkley in this same situation, this is the same play basically, and Saquon Barkley is athletic enough to recognize that this gap is no good. Don't run through this gap because Zach Cunningham is really about to get you. Bounce to the outside, and unlike Henry, completely beat out the edge defender. So this is why I love Saquon Barkley. That's why I love Saquon Barkley. So this is a mistake on Daniel Jones' part. Okay, Daniel Jones held the ball too long, waited for a play to happen, looked down, one side of the field, and this is why Daniel Jones gets a lot of complaints. Okay, so Jones is going to take the snap. The Titans only send 4, but with this offensive line, they only need to send 4. Jeffrey Simmons has been an absolute nuisance all game. He's lined up here. He's going to get it inside here. Completely beats out Josh Azudu. Josh Azudu played so soft in this game. At this point, I know I don't like to play screenshot film reviews, but at this point, Daniel Jones should throw it right now. Right now. You saw him pump a little bit. You see Daniel Jones pump a little bit. He should have thrown that ball. Check out the pump. All right. He should have thrown that ball. Even though you're probably not going to get all the yards you want, but like really, who's open? Where else are you going to go? And you got Jeffrey Simmons, screaming on the inside. So let's go to the box view and talk about it. This was the sack fumble that Bud Dupree wound up recovering. Jeffrey Simmons, just an absolute monster of a human being. So you got Jeffrey Simmons lined up in like the 4-eye on the inside shoulder of the tackle. And he's just going to blow right past Josh Azudu. And this is just where his positioning was almost impossible for Azudu. He doesn't have that sideline quickness to have the strength and speed to get Jeffrey Simmons lined up on the outside like that, and he just didn't utilize his hands correctly at all. And also couldn't get in the way of Jeffrey Simmons, who was just powering right through. Daniel Jones pumps. He should have thrown it, man. He should have just thrown it. I don't know why you held on to it. But this is the problem. This is why people always got an freaking textbook tackle by Andrew Thomas. I didn't even notice that the first time. Textbook tackle by Andrew Thomas. Look at this. Get down. That was good. But this is why people, critique Daniel Jones. And I try to defend him as much as I could. But you can't defend that. I can't defend that. I understand the fumble part. I don't like the sack part, because the fumble part, he was getting ready to throw it, and the ball came out. Like 10 times out of 10, a quarterback is not going to hold on to the ball with a freaking grown ass man swiping your hand. You're not going to hold on to the ball, but he should have already thrown it. I have a problem with the sack more than I do the sack fumble. So. And this right here is why you always... I don't want to hear anybody saying the running game is dead in the NFL. This is a passing league. Okay, the reason why it's a passing league is because you set up the pass with the run. Everybody's scared of Derrick Henry. Okay, that's just the main focal point of the offense is Derrick Henry. Okay, and look at who is this guy? This guy looks like a kicker. He looks like he wears number 8. He's got long hair. The man looks like a kicker. Okay, he's built like a NFL kicker, and he gets wide open on a deep corner route. Why? Because they set up play action so well, they stick so shallow. Okay? This is zone. This is zone play. This is cover 3. But Adoree does not bail automatically. Adoree stays under. And of course there's a rollout as well. And then look out, all these linebackers bit on the play action. Okay, they're gonna play action here. These linebackers can go inside here, kind of go a little shallow. Got the crosser, got the drag route. I guess a little crossing route, shallow crosser, and then this deep corner route. And nobody in the flat. So I don't know what kind of defense they were running here. I have to look at this. I don't know what kind of defense they were running here. They should have had this. They should have had Jihad go in the flat or something. Instead, Jihad just rushed it. I think maybe. My inference, I think Jihad Ward elected not to... He saw the run bit on the play action and got sucked up in the play action. That I think he should have been the flat guy. Because why would you leave the flats open like this? Adoree took it upon himself to cover the flats because he knew he had safety help. But even so, good job there by Hollister recognizing where he was. And that's why play action sets up the pass. Look at all these guys getting sucked up in the play action. Boom. Look at that. All the linebackers get inside that gap, including Jihad Ward, who I feel like should have been in the flat. 2 open receivers. 3 open receivers here. All right. I know everybody wants to see this, so let's just look at it. Tay Crowder blowing up Derrick Henry. And also, we'll talk about Micah Mcfadden shooting that gap as well. So, Micah McFadden getting in that B gap, shooting that gap. Derrick Henry cuts it back. Tay Crowder gets away from the defender, blows him up. I mean, I've never seen a freaking human being hit Derrick Henry this hard before. I mean, Tay Crowder did not have a good game at all by any means, but I mean, this is a really good play by him blowing up Derrick Henry. Jesus. But then also look at Micah Mcfadden. So if Derrick Henry would have, look at his dip. Look at that. That is freaking sick, bro. Micah McFadden is an undersized linebacker, but for good reason. I mean, like, he's able to utilize his size and strength and speed at the linebacker position very well. I mean, if Derrick Henry would have cut this outside, if he would have bounced outside, he would have been stopped by Micah McFadden. It would have been up to Micah McFadden to make the tackle. We'll see if that would have happened, but Micah McFadden would have been there. Good job by the Giants defense, Tay Crowder and Micah McFadden. Alright, this looks like outside zone. I'm not very good with terminologies, guys. Bear with me. I'm not the most advanced in football terminologies, but this looks like outside zone to me with two pulling interior offensive linemen, and just a great play design and also great execution here. Jon Feliciano does a great job setting up a block, and so does a sneaky person in this is Daniel Bellinger. Look what he does with Bud Dupree. Great job there setting that block and pushing Bud Dupree out of this play. Great job there. I mean, he borderline if he would have held up any longer or Bud Dupree would have sold it a little bit more, probably would have been a holding. But because you gotta keep the guy you're blocking in front of you, not to the side of you. So you can't be using your arms to push to the side of you. You gotta be pushing in front of you. So he's gotta turn around and push Bud Dupree the other way. But Daniel Bellinger did a great job forcing Bud Dupree out of this play, opening up the whole gap right here. Jon Feliciano has his eyes set on Zach Cunningham. Boom, gets him, and Saquon Barkley had one man to beat. And he's off to the races. This is a fantastic execution by the O-line and Daniel Bellinger. Fantastic execution. Now we got Saquon Barkley, who cut it back and then got into the end zone on his touchdowns the next play. And Josh Zudu did a great job, setting up this block here. Completely pancaked this guy. Look at that. Took this guy out. I don't know who this is, who this player is here, but Josh Zudu took him, manhandled him, opened up the gap wide open for Saquon to cut it back. Look at this. Saquon was looking. He saw it. He recognized Josh Zudu. Look at that. Beautiful. And Zudu gets the pancake there. Barkley gets the touchdown. Now, this is the Sterling Shepard 65, 66-yard touchdown. A lot of people are saying Daniel Jones underthrew this ball. How can you say that? The man was under pressure, had to throw from his back foot because this defender could have gotten up and then swiped the ball or even sacked him. So he threw on his back foot to try to make sure he evades any traffic. And just a beautiful. This is why Daniel Jones is one of the best deep ball throwers in the game, man. I'm not even joking with you guys. All right, that's a good throw. And by the way, that's not even that underthrown. I mean, for the most part, Sterling Shepard was in stride. I mean, from the broadcast, you would think it's not. From the broadcast, you would think that it was underthrown because of the angle. But Sterling Shepard really didn't have to slow down that much to receive this ball. It's just a really good throw by Daniel Jones. Let me see if we can see the ball in the air from this box view here. Because this was a beautiful. I mean, look at that. Daniel Jones knows how to throw a ball, man. It's very rare you see him throw ducks. Like even on the interceptions he throws, they're just perfect spirals. I mean, he knows how to throw a ball. And I thought this was a good play. I don't know why everybody's saying it's underthrown. It was not underthrown. Now, Darnay Holmes got picked on a lot in training camp, and man coverage. He's just not a press man corner at all. He's just not. You can see him right here, and this receiver gives him an outside shake, and then gets inside. So double moves. He shakes outside. So to get Darnay to flip his hips, boom, flipped his hips, and he's able to get a good release on him. But Darnay Holmes kept a good angle. It was Ryan Tannehill who fit this ball. You can see from the box view. completely fit this ball in tight space. Darnay Holmes did a good job staying, right behind the receiver. And Tannehill, I know, this is the ball here. I know, look at the tight space he had to fit this in. I mean, Darnay Holmes got his head around and his hands up. This probably would have been incomplete, but Darnay just didn't do that. And for good reason. He's still in his route. So, I mean, Darnay Holmes got beat there, but an even better throw by Ryan Tannehill fitting this in there, because Darnay Holmes wasn't in terrible position after he made up for that bad release. But, yeah. Guess what, guys? We've got more man coverage on stacked receivers. And guess what they did again, guys? They got the outside receiver, the one behind, to play inside, because they've been bullying the Giants with this all game, and it's been working all game. And the Giants just can't learn their lesson and stop running man defense on it. And look what happens. Again, the top receiver clears out. This is what you see normally from stacked receiver sets. Clears out. Get this defender out of the way. And then this receiver up top is responsible for the one that was supposed to be going outside, but he goes back inside. And look at the separation. I mean, it's just fundamental, man. It's just fundamental. Stop running man defense on stacked receiver sets. Golly. Now, I know I really talked good about the Giants defense. I'm sorry. I really did, because they just... The Titans just couldn't capitalize on their mistakes. But the Giants really didn't play that great of a game on defense, to be honest with you, looking at the film. Okay? But the Giants did a good job here, and this is how you run man defense, man. Okay? So this is going to be cover one. And the Giants... Look at Aaron Robinson. Gets over. You can look here. Aaron Robinson is right here. Adoree is right here. Look, everybody's manned up. Everybody's manned up. Aaron Robinson had really good makeup speed. Adoree turns around here. Everybody's manned up. You got the defender here getting on the inside of this receiver. Like, he's completely covered. He's covered. He's covered. Where are you going to throw it? Nowhere to throw it. And this is why Tannehill gives up the first sack of the game for the Giants. And it's credited to Timon Fox. I don't even know how this is a sack, but it's a sack. I don't know. Looks like he got to the line of scrimmage to me. And he did. I think it was a sack for like 0 yards. So I don't even know how that's a sack. And he was tucking and running. So, but good job out of Giants defense. Let's look at it from the box view. McKinney had assignment on the tight end. Nobody was open. This is how you run man defense. Now the only thing that I could come up with is maybe that this is a hybrid zone man scheme. Or maybe Darnay Holmes didn't know that they were playing zone coverage, because everybody else here is playing zone. Okay? Why is Darnay Holmes the only guy staring at the receiver and everybody else is staring at the quarterback? That is a great indicator of man and zone, is who's looking where. All right? Darnay Holmes is staring at a receiver, everyone else staring at the quarterback, and you could see that when the play starts, you got guys in zone. All right, they're in zone. They're in cover 3 zone. And when cover 3 zone, who's got the flat? It's supposed to be the guy that's on the inside. They're supposed to kick out to the flat. The outside guy's supposed to go on that middle third. And Darnay Holmes elects to follow a receiver and leaves the flat wide open. All right, this is not the corner's responsibility, because if they're playing cover 3, he's supposed to be going out to that middle third. Leaves the flat wide open, and Dontrell Hilliard scores his second touchdown. Okay, Darnay Holmes had a terrible freaking game. All right, Darnay Holmes had a terrible game. So look, if this is cover 3, these guys are going outside here. He's supposed to get the flat, and he's supposed to go middle third, middle third, middle third. This guy, Darnay Holmes, is supposed to get the flat. Okay, they rush 4. Rush 4. These guys going inside here. Unless it was supposed to be Tate Crowder that's supposed to get the flat, that he didn't. I mean, it was one of these guys. I wouldn't. Why would you put a guy that's inside here going all the way flat? I don't think that's true. Darnay Holmes supposed to have the flat. Okay, I don't like that. That's ridiculous. If this was a play design, if this was a hybrid zone man defense, I don't like it. Wink, scrap it. scrap it. Who you got in the flat? Who's in the flat? Are you leaving the flats open on purpose? Like, and Dontrell Hilliard back there? Like, if Derrick Henry was back there, I'll leave the flat open because I don't trust him catching the ball. I mean, I wouldn't care about Derrick Henry catching the ball in the flat. He just can't catch. But you got Dontrell Hilliard back here. He already scored a touchdown on you before. He's already had a big play for them as a receiver as well. 2 big plays. And this is his 3rd one here. Just killed it. Absolutely killed it. Whoever had the flat responsibility just didn't stick to their assignment. All right, let's talk about Daniel Jones's interception. And the more I look at this interception, the more I really don't blame Daniel too much, okay? Listen, okay? I know I've defended Daniel in the past, okay? I don't think this was a bad read. I think maybe a bad throw, maybe bad timing. I don't think it was a bad read. There is a difference between bad timing, a bad throw, and a bad read, okay? Saquon Barkley was one-on-one on this wheel, okay, with a safety. And then you had Richie James running the corner to the back of the end zone. You had Sterling running a slant and getting kind of in between this part of the field. And you got Kenny Golladay going under, running what looks to be a dig, but I mean he just doesn't care about running routes. I mean he just is not interested. When you look at Kenny Golladay run routes, but I mean Saquon Barkley goes to the other side and runs a wheel. I don't mind the read. I don't, because if you look right off the bat, let's look at the play. If you look right off the bat, all right, you got Saquon Barkley who got motioned out. He's already got a running start. If I'm Daniel Jones and I already know where I'm going, I'd probably look to throw this already. But it closes up so quickly. I understand it. But look, nobody's open here. Who are you trying to target? Nobody's open here. Don't even try to tell me he could have thrown this in. We talked about how quickly a gap closes when you start screenshot film reviewing, okay? Nobody was open. All right? Was it a bad read? No, it wasn't a bad read. He one-on-one by himself, but the whole defense is over here, and you've got one-on-one over here. You look at the matchup, that's what you do. You throw it. But bad timing? Possibly. Bad throw? Very likely. Okay? But not a bad read. This is a bad timing, bad throw, but not a bad read. Okay? There's a difference. Now we got Daniel Jones utilizing some of that RPO action. This is what he's really good at it, man. I won't lie to you. He's really good at it, diagnosing if he should run or if he should hand it off or not. See David Long, again, not biting off of nothing. Once he sees, he actually does bite here. He goes out there, Saquon Barkley, and Daniel Jones zips the ball in a tight window to Richie James. This is a really good RPO. Look at that. Look at that. Play action, recognizes, pulls it, throws. And with accuracy too. In the tight window. This is one of Daniel Jones' better throws over here. Okay? He had to pull this ball and zip it to Richie James. This is a really, really good play. And in the face of pressure, he did a really good job doing play action, because he got David Long to completely go onto Saquon Barkley and have time to throw this ball. Really good play. And this is one of my favorite runs from Saquon Barkley. So Barkley is going to take the handoff here. These guys are going to get up to the second level. And you can see Saquon Barkley's patience. And you can see his vision. All right? He's going to hit this gap here. And he's going to run straight in a line. Right? He's going to run straight in a line. This block has not been set up yet. But he knows that Glowinski is about to get to Amani Hooker here. So he just runs it. He doesn't hesitate at straight line. He trips a little bit. I guarantee you if he doesn't trip, this would have been a touchdown. But freaking huge run by Saquon Barkley. Great job by him. He had a fantastic game. But that's it, everybody. That is the film review. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I love doing this. I love watching film, and it's very fun for me to kind of go over what I learned and go over what I've seen, because I'm still learning. I mean, like, student of the game, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a coach. I'm not an NFL guy. I've self-taught myself film. I've watched a lot of videos. I've watched years worth of film, and yeah, this is what I like to do, man. So if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. If you guys are new, we'll also be doing a film review of the Carolina Panthers' recent game, because that's who we're facing next, and we want to know our opponent. So I'm going to be doing a film review of their previous game as like a know your opponent sort of type deal too. So if you guys like what you've seen, make sure you guys hit that like button, and see you guys next time.